In the previous shiur that we spoke about the clueless halachas of chiv mezuzah, that basically a person is mechiv to put a mezuzah on every door, not only on the outside door. And we spoke also of the bath of the nekidus advorim, you don't take down a mezuzah. This halachas. Now we want to delve in a little bit inside into the halachas mezuzah, in the protem halachas mezuzah, and we're going to start what houses, what rooms is mechiv mezuzah. Now the pasuk says, we say it a few times a day, "Ichsaftem al mezuzahs baisecho evisherecho." So the Gemara darshans mesechtes Yuma, ma baischu meyichid ladira. Same as your house is made for a dira. Af kol meyichid ladira. What is mechiv mezuzah? A room or a house which is gemacht for a dira, living space. So the Gemara lamad, what does it mean? Dira, what does you want to exempt? Lamad beis shar vechsadra. A beis shar and chsadra, which does not go into a dira, that's a pot for a mezuzah. Because we can see soon, a beis shar is mechiv mezuzah, although it's less than $1. For instance, this small room, even though it's not less than $1, mechiv mezuzah, that's called a beis shar, because it goes into a room which is mechiv mezuzah. So the Gemara darshaned that by secho has to be like a bias, same as a bias you live. If it doesn't go, it's a beis shar, not to a thing which goes into a living space, it's possible in a mezuzah. Then the Gemara says weiter, ma baischa osi lekovat, same as your house is a place which is a kovadige place. The same is which room is mechiv mezuzah, which is made for kovad. And what does it come to exempt? A room which is a bathroom, or which is a shower room, or a mikvah, all these things which initial bias shall covered. Therefore, that's potem in a mezuzah. And then the Gemara says, ma baischo, same as your house is chol. It's chol, it's not kodesh. The same is also a thing which is not kodesh, which is not only chol is mechiv mezuzah, not kodesh. Therefore, the Mikdash or pashtus habeis, as we're going to get now to the Indian of Beis Knesses, it's mechiv mezuzah or not. So let's start first with Beis Knesses, then we go to Beis Medrash and other rooms. The Beis Knesses mitzad atzmoi is potem in a mezuzah. As we pass from the Shechanurach, Mechaber Shechanurach, Simar Reish Peivov, potem in a mezuzah, as we learn now from the Gemara, ma baischu is chol. The same is also has to be a room which is chol. Now the Rambam says the reason why is it because of this Gemara has to be chol, and as long as not chol, it's potem in a mezuzah. Now what does it mean the Rambam, which the Rambam says? What is the reason what the Rambam says? We have a machloikis of achroinim, the pshat in the Rambam. The Yada Ketana, one of the big achroinim in mezuzah, also achieved some sofer in other poskim hold that it comes to say why a Beis Knesses is possible in a mezuzah is because it's made to daven. It's bayis shel shchina. It's not your house. It has to be bayis chu. It's not bechal bayis chu. It's a bayis shel shchina. Other poskim, the Maroi Masuda, and other poskim want to say a different pshat. It says not because the first pshat is pshat not because the kiddush is Beis Knesses. The pshat is was nicht bayis chu. The Maroi Masuda wants to say Kedusha is Beis Knesses. Since it has a Kedusha Beis Knesses, it's not Choil, automatically it's potem in a mezuzah. And that's the reason why it's potem in a mezuzah. Then there is a other pshat which Rashi and Toys will say that the reason why a Beis Knesses is potem in a mezuzah is because it has to say Beischo has to be yours. A Beis Knesses is not yours. It's not yours. It's a public thing. So what comes out from this three pshotim? There are ways that a Beis Knesses, which could be mechiv mezuzah. For instance, if a person has a Beis Knesses shel yochid, a private Beis Knesses, yeah. So according to Rashi and Tosfos, which the drash is baischu, only your house, not a thing which is public, then it's mechiv mezuzah because it is baischu. Basically, it is yours. So therefore, it's mechiv mezuzah. But according to the other pshat, which is like the Rambam, that has to be Baischu, Veloy Baishel Shchina. So that's also Baishel Shchina. Basic Knesset, although you own the Basic Knesset, but sometimes it's Baishel Shchina. Or because Kedusha is Basic Knesset, it's put him in a Mezuzah. Is Lamasa, Lalucha, we will put in such a case a Mezuzah without a bracha. Let me make a Gdoma, which is very important. A Gdoma, which we made when we spoke about Tfilas Kailim, but the same goes to Mezuzah. Whenever you have a Machloikis Rishonim or a Machloikis Aposkim, if it's Mechiba Mezuzah or not, although we will paskin like one shitta, since there is a lot of other shittas which hold that it's potem and a mezuzah, we are going to be a machmer and put a mezuzah, but it's going to be without a bracha. Because when it comes to sofik bracha leukl, we know bracha is a shalaf in a leisisu. The mitzvah we are going to be mekayim, but we are not going to make a bracha. So in such a case, since we have a basic knesset shaliuch, according to Rashi, tois mechibah mezuzah with a bracha, according to the Rambam will be potem and a mezuzah. So therefore, we're going to put a mezuzah, but it's going to be without a bracha. Today's day, all the basic knesses will put a mezuzah. All of them will put a mezuzah because it is made also for learning. It's also made for learning, and therefore has a different halacha. Now I'm talking what I say means it made. It's not pshat made to learn all day. B'poil, all the basic but the medrashim is also we're going to get but the best has a little bit different halachas. But even a basic knesses today's day will put a mezuzah. You know, because today's day, you use the basic knesses also for other things. Even the basic knesses, which is, we have a basic knesses, which is taka only for davening, and once you finish davening, there's no learning, has the kedishas basic knesses that we had once upon a time, then you will not, basic knesses, all of them is the zach as we're going to put without the bracha. And when it comes to Beis Medrash, what? No, learning is not Beis Shchina. Learning is not considered Beis Shchina. No. So, mitzvahs. But if a person has a room in his house, a study room, he learns all day, 18 days a day, is a Beis Shchina? It's not Beis Shchina. It's a heilige room. Yeah, alles feine Wohle, but not considered. Beis Shchina means like a Beis Knesses, which is doing la Beis Hamikdash. That's made Beis Shchina. Nicht am mitzvahs in dem. Jede Chabad house is a Beis Shchina. No question about it. It's a what? It is a Mukha B'choil. It is a Mukha B'choil. I'm allowed to eat, I'm allowed to sleep, I'm allowed to do anything. I'm allowed, yeah. Such can Kedishas Beis Knesses. Today's day, B'chalal, let's get now to the Beis Medrash. When it comes to Beis Medrash, is ook the Machloikes in a poskem tzimchi b'mezuzah. And but Lamasa over here, most of the poskim will say as a tzimchi b'mezuzah. Why? Because you use it all day, and even you sleep, people are sleeping there. In Beis Knesset, one of the reasons in Zugman as a tzimchi b'mezuzah is nicht Beischu, it's nicht Shtamshus, it's not Shtamshus. You don't eat over there. You know, you don't sleep over there. Today's basic knesset is a special today's day when you make noem that you are allowed. Yeah, it's eine von der Sachen, was the Chassidim angeführt, as there's no such thing as a basic knesset. You know, everything is a basic medrash. You macht out nai that you could eat, you could sleep, you could feel made as vadas over there. So automatically is mehr mistaber. It's a guy that mehr according to the Achronim is mehr a sach which is mechiba mezuzah because it's in ifim baischu. Noch then, oibas is taka baischu, so it's public. We have still the poiskim which say that it's potem and mezuzah. It's baischu. It's not yours. But akapunam, according to more shoinam, is mechiba mezuzah. But in any case, we're going to put a mezuzah even in a Beis Medrash, which most of the poiskim will say that mechiba mezuzah we're also going to put without a brach. Again, why? Because still we have some poiskim who say baischu has to be michid lechu. It's yours. So therefore, we're going to still make a mezuzah. But put a mezuzah without a bracha. But if a person has a private Beis Medrash, mamash zam personal zach and he eats and sleeps over there, it's mamash. But he lets other people down. Kemivna zafal can a machen a brucha oichet. So basically, to sum it up, in the basic knesses, in especially a Beis Medrash, you're going to put a mezuzah, but you're not going to make a bracha. Now the Shulchan Aruch steht ochet, beis ha'oitzer, oitzer es yain, oitzer shemen, and a chiv be'mezuzah. As we pass in the machaber, that you have a room which you used to store over there, a storage room. You used to store over there shemen, you used to store over there yain, and from time to time you're going to come in, go there and take for the next 3 months, you take out the bottles or whatever you need. Zug de machaber bepashtes, as mizbechi be'mezuzah. Zug of them Rebbe Kiva Eiger Chivas, when the machaber says mizbechi be'mezuzah, it means even with a brocha. A machsan, a storage room, mizbechi be'mezuzah mit a brocha. Although we don't live there, so to speak, we don't live there. You don't eat there, you don't sleep there, you don't. But Saf Kesaf, since it's a shtamshus of yourself, it's you keep there your stuff which you use, so therefore it's called beis dira. That's called beis dira, since it is a place which you keep your stuff, and therefore it's called inschai b'mezuzah. But Lamasa, we are not going to make a bracha on a storage room, because Saf Kol Saf, there are some Rishonim which hold us that oitzres is put in a mezuzah. For instance, the Rambam writes clearly, oitzres is put in a mezuzah. The Ritva, the Rambam, although we don't paskin like them, we paskin like the Mechaber, which paskins as v'chi b'mezuzah. But again, as I mentioned before, whenever we have a machlokas, we are not going to put a mezuzah, and we're going to put a mezuzah, we're not going to make a bracha. And so we paskin shayvet alayvi, the Mechasitzchak, that even though a storage room, people have pantries, walk-in pantries, in such a case, you put a mezuzah, but you will not make a bracha. I want to clarify, I mentioned it last previous sheet, but I want to make it clear. When you move in a new house, and you're going to put on mezuzahs, it is always kedai to make first the cheshbonis, look around in the house, and see which room is v'chi b'mezuzah, and over there make the bracha, and then you make all you then put all other mezuzahs. Because then the bracha which you made, I think, which is v'chi b'mezuzah chaladayas, and you included all the rooms. So therefore, it's kedai always to start putting on the mezuzahs in a time that you could put on the whole house, even the rooms which are suffolk, because at least it goes into the bracha. Another thing which is interesting, people in the Chassidische Welt, in the Polish Welt, is a minig that you call a Rebbe, a Shainid, a Rov to knock mezuzahs. This is a kibbut. So sometimes the Mechaber the Rebbe Lamazung to put it in a place, the dining room, and there's a nice big mezuzah for the dining room, and he wants the photo up should be a nice photo up with a nice big mezuzah, which Bechal we have to understand now. There was published size we're going to see in Aloha future shiurim that there was the biggest mezuzah in one Chabad house a few weeks ago, the biggest mezuzah in the world. If you look at the picture, you see it's porcelain. It's possible how you put it, because it's such a big mezuzah, so it's half. A mezuzah has to be 2/3 on the, so it's too big. It's not 2/3. It's a problem. But I can put them. Sometimes you bring the Rebbe should come and put on the dining room. In the dining room you have an arch, or you don't have a door. A lot of times, today's day you don't what?
It's not plus a mezuzah.
No,
don't put on a door that needs a mezuzah.
No,
that's a suffix.
You're talking about an ayah or talking about that? No, that's a problem. No, that's a problem. It's v'chi b'mezuzah.
With a bracha.
Yeah, it's a regular chabaros, it's v'chi b'mezuzah, but it's such a big one.
That doorway needs a bracha.
Why not?
Oh,
it's a regular door.
Okay.
But you made such a big mezuzah that it comes out, the half mezuzah is too low, is a problem. So sometimes you mechaber the Rebbe to make the he makes the bracha, and it's a door which is mezuzah chaladais. For instance, we're going to see it. The Rambam holds that any archway or any door which doesn't have a physical door is potem mezuzah. So we don't make a bracha on that. So b'chlal it's kedai to kick around the house, look all the doors, and then put on the mezuzah, make the bracha that you know I want to make a mezuzah. Front door mechayim. Okay, has a door also.
What?
Has a door too. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm saying you make on the front door.
Yeah, you can make it the front door too. Yeah, okay. But sometimes the silver piece you put in the dining room, and over there you don't have a door. Al kapunim tzrigai means haltmer. So therefore, whenever we have a suffix, you're not making a mezuzah. So therefore, oitzres yain storage rooms, we are not going to make a bracha because it's a machloikas. Now, if you have a room which is basically a machsan, but not like a stock room, like storage room for food. You put over there the sukkah all year round is the sukkah, or like a shed, even a shed. Yeah, you put the Pesach kailam. You have, you put all these things, which is basically you don't go there too often. You go once a year, twice a year. Lamas our afa pekan, it's considered like baisa oitzer, and the same as baisa oitzer we pass as mechiba mezuzah. That will be also mechiba mezuzah. Again, we don't make a bracha, as we mentioned. The Rambam holds baisa oitzer doesn't have the mezuzah, so a machsani will be the same thing, is mechiba mezuzah. But sometimes you have a shed, let's say the plastic sheds, yeah, which you cannot live there. You can store it over there. It's dalat adalat, has the shear of mechiba mezuzah, but you cannot live there because, after all, it's not a livable place. It's good for storage. It's not good to live. Yeah, you can have heat over there. It's cold. Nobody sleeps over there. Such a thing. In such a case, which is a binyan arai, in such a case, is the cholad is put him in a mezuzah. But if you have a nice built shed, which it's basically a livable thing, then you could basically, it is considered by oitzer, you put a mezuzah. Now sometimes over here in America it's not that often, but in Israel you have machsanim. Every building builds a house with machsanim. The machsan, that means storage. But eventually, you got to make pecha matcha. So what do? You build from the machsan, you make a dira. You make a dira, it's like making a garage. From a garage, you're making a dira. That's for sure mechiba mezuzah mit a brucha. Chotchik Sot Hashem, Dirat Machsan, in Israel it's still advertised, Dirat Machsan, Laskara. So don't think, since it has the name Dirat Machsan, now when it's a livable, it's a normal apartment, then for sure you make a brucha. We're talking Machsan, which you say we don't make a brucha, is a thing which is storage, stuff, it's not, you don't live there. It could be livable, because again, if it's a plastic shed, a little tight, big plastic shed, it's possible to visit the holidays. But if it's a regular shed or it's a regular machsan, in such a case, you'll put a mezuzah and you're not going to make a bracha. What? So this is what I'm saying. Machsan we put in the same category of oitzre yain, and that's why it has the same halach. Exactly. Yeah.
What if you have a room that you don't put any storage inside? It's a storage room. You don't use it.
It's b'chlal a room which is not used.
It's a small room.
What do you do there?
It's just a room. It's closed.
And
it's closed.
It's a closed room which nobody uses.
It's like the heater.
What?
Like the heater or something.
What do you mean here? Boiler room. Oh, boiler room will come. That's the room which you use.
If you have like an attic room, that's like it's a big room. You can go inside.
But you don't use it.
But you don't use it.
It's not mechiba mezuzah. It's not mechiba mezuzah. Attic is if you fix it up, you make it for something else. If not, it's mechiba mezuzah. A regular garage which we have, according to Rav Poiskim and the Chiba Mezuzah, and the eitzim zach that you're going in storage, you're going in, and you constantly over there is the Chiba Mezuzah. But notice of every garage is also a storage room. So again, we're going into selbe geder of a machsan. It's a Chiba Mezuzah in aber nicht mach kabruch. Also mit Chassidus as Nidberi and Chiba Mezuzah, and people, not everybody knows about it. Baruch Hashem I like to look on the garages. Everybody more or less has a mezuzah. It's interesting. Who told me? One of the guy was by me in a house. One of the Lubavitcher guys told me that Moshe Feller, the head shlich in Minnesota, he has a meaning when he goes out from his house. He goes to the shed and he kisses the mezuzah from the shed. He says, I was never able to kiss the mezuzah of the shed because I drive him with my car. And from my car, then once I drive him in the car, I go into my house with the back door. And once I leave my car, I go in from the back door into my car, and I open the door and I move out. So the mezuzah is never fayusim geworden. So he made a policy als rachmunas of the mezuzah, which is on the machsan, just cute. So somebody told me a few weeks ago when he was by me. I think he always, when it comes to I think your father told me. Your father told me, yes, Malachmach. Moshe Feller used to go, kiss the mezuzah, a garage is a mechiba mezuzah. Refrigerator room. Walk-in refrigerators. Yeah, has dalat. Is a mechiba mezuzah or the nisht. And the post can have a whole shmiz. By Moshe, with the Chaya Levi, the Moshe Feinstein, there's a big shmiz of is mechiba mezuzah, and there are some which are mitzad b'mezuzah, other shipura mezuzah. Lamasa baraskumas fin kraft poiskim. I could have chalik poiskim the by Moshe, the Chitshuni. They say that it's potem and mezuzah because they say, and that's how the minik. Nobody puts it on a walk in a refrigerator. It says it's not uladir. Although mitzad the chbayas is a uladir, it's dalat adalat, might be a comfortable room. But since you have a refrigerator over there, especially a freezer, but a refrigerator, it's not a place where you can sit there and sleep or eat. So therefore, it's a sputim in a maziza. And again, that is lamaisa the minik that we don't put on a maziza.
You're talking about a room that...
A walk-in refrigerator.
Has the refrigerator inside that
Yeah,
a person can live there. Like,
yeah, it's a regular room. You know how big, over in the deli, go in the back in deli, you have a refrigerator. Which
about this type.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about the refrigerator which you have in our refrigerator.
No, maybe not like a room where you have a refrigerator or.
No. That's a regular room. I'm talking of a big walking refrigerator.
For sure, it's not.
Why? It's dalat, and you have ishtamshus over there. Why not?
Can't
Why?
move.
Absolutely not.
More than 20 minutes.
That's why it's prototype. Yeah, but the Moshe the ganze Tag mit Zad Atzmo ich kann auslöschen. The poskim. The what? That's the reason why it's still in storage.
Even though you don't also.
Exactly. Storage, although you don't sleep a poil, but you can eat there, you can sleep there. You don't do it because you have other rooms, But you can't. Mitzad, the chayt, and that's why it's like a potter.
In camp, I was a cooking camp. I used to eat in the fridge in the cooking fridge. It was not a Montreal camp. I used to just go in the fridge and sit there for half an hour and make the
Nobody should see what you're eating.
No, make the salad for the camp.
In the refrigerator.
It was so hot outside. Sit there for 20 minutes, make the food.
Okay. But 20 minutes.
50.
Okay, what's it about a store, an office, a school? So, rooms which you use is basically the regular bais dire. You can eat there, but you use it only during the day. Nobody sleeps over there. I don't know, today's day, when people are alcoholics, maybe they have couches and they sleep. Politicians probably have to put on, even on those because they sleep at night over there also sometimes before a campaign. Now, I come in a regular office, you work from 9 to 5, 9 to 7, but nobody sleeps over there. It's basically, it is a shtamshus, but it's not a sleepable shtamshus. What is the look over there? Muhammad is a machloikes hapoiskim. The Tirzuv holds any room which is basically not made that you should sleep at night is potem and amaziz. So according to the Tirzuv, the Taz, a office, a school, a store will be potem and amaziza. But lamaisa, a lot of achroinim, most of achroinim will disagree with the Tirzuv l'halocha, and they hold that basically diras yom is also considered a dira. Doesn't have to be diras laila too. Diras yom is also considered a dira. The best prover is basically a basic medrash. Why did we say basic medrash is better than a basic knesset? Because basic medrash is a platz which we learn during the day. Now, some will say, La Shishi, you sleep there too. When you're up all night to learn a sikha or the Ramaimer and you fall asleep over there. But I can put him bepashtas, but some mention auch a diras yom, lav nach diras laila. But I can put him, most achronim will say, hold that diras yom is ochat, even you could sleep, but even if you don't sleep, therefore it's mechiba maziza. So therefore, all of the above which we said, a beis sefer, a office, a store, all of these things, lamaisa, vetman, is mechiv to like the maziza because most of the poskim hold you should put a maziza. But kemivn, since we just mentioned that in some of the Tirzuv is hold has to be the Raslaila, paskin the Ben Ishchai mit andere achroinam, that we should not make a brocha in the office. So therefore, that's the Matthias. I had a couple of people over here in Kingston ask me, I move in a new office, a brocha. The answer is no, we don't make a brocha. Not on an office, not on a store, not on a school, a masifta, all these things we are not going to put a mazizah with a bracha because it's not at night. What do you say?
The opinions that say you don't put a mezuzah because it's not during the day.
It's only during the day. It's not during the light.
Where's that from? Where's that source from?
The Tirzuv sagt das. The Rizur bringt es, as du sie Beischu. Ma Beischu, you sleep there overnight. It is a thing which you do right? It has to be like a house. The Gemara darshan that sagt man Mezuzah by Sechu, and the Gemara says a lot of things which has to be done with Abayis. Abayis is where you sleep at night and in the morning. So again, all these things we're going to see that we don't make a bracha, but essentially Ravos and the rights and Shivas, if a person wants to make a bracha in an office, I must nichen oisai. Since most poskim hold that it is mechiv b'mezuzah, if a person wants to do it, then I must nichen oisai, he can make a bracha. Wazung about a chotzer.
We don't do it.
What? Eine levatol, yeah.
We don't do that.
We don't, no. We pass klamaise, bechal the Alter Rebbe, ins Lebabische Chassidem, bechal when it comes to bruchel, to Zweikes and brochas, we don't make a brocha. You see, the Alter Rebbe was very machmar when it comes to Sufik brochas. More than the Mishnah Berurah, more than in Shulchan Aruch, it comes a lot of times, like Abbas and Hanem, like Abba Tefillah. Alter Rebbe was very machmar of bruchel levatol. So therefore, in any case, when we have Chizvi, Alter Rebbe paskin that klor that he paskins that you should make a bracha. Although there's poiskim which hold you shouldn't, not automachrigen, leganzen. But whenever we have machrigs a poiskim, such a case we are going to be machman, doing the mitzvah, doing the thing, but not going to make a bracha. Okay, now the Torah says, Ich safte mal Mezuzah b'sechu u visharechu. So von dem lebt man raus, and du steht klure ruch is genurig shara chotzer im khiba mezuzah. If a person has a chotzer and has a nice, or not even nice, at least has a shar. The shar means has zwei mezuzahs and a mashkoif, is b'mechiv b'mezuzah. According to Rav Poiskem, the chiv is a regular b'chiv min haTorah. Because it says visharechu, and visharechu means that's made in the Evan Mechiba Mezuzah. Now, there's a machloikes in Rishonim. Why is the chiyuv? Is the chiyuv a chiyuv mitzad atzmoi, a chotzer Mechiba Mezuzah? Or no, the chotzer Mechiba Mezuzah mitzad val is connected to a bayis. In order to go into the house, you're going into a chotzer. You're going to a front alley, you're going to the front yard. So therefore, mitzad deim is Mechiba Mezuzah. Or nine, a chutz is mechiba mezuzah mitzad atzmai.
Needs to be enclosed.
The what?
Needs to be enclosed.
Has to be like so to speak a bayis. If it's an open davad in the shaykh, if you have just a front door, is garnished. It has to be there's gates. Right. Someone can have a gate. Yeah. So Toisvus Imanuchas says asachiv mitzad atzmai. Achotzer mechiba mezuzah mitzad atzmai. Other Rishonim, the Rambam, the Meiri, the Ramban says no. It's only mechiv v'sharechu, the Torah says v'sharechu, only because it leads you to a house. What is the chilik l'halacha? If a person has a chotzer which doesn't lead to your house, he has a chotzer, and he has outside of his house, he has an enclosed backyard or whatever it is, and it doesn't lead to your chotzer. Yeah? It's not adjacent to your house. It doesn't lead to, or we're going to see a closed chotzer. Yeah, in such a case, a closed chotzer is the chotzer not made to go into your house. If the chiyuv chotzer is mitzad atzmoi, so it's mechiba mezuzah. This is a chotzer, mechiba mezuzah. If the chotzer is mechiv nor because it leads you into the house. If the chotzer does not lead you to the house, is it zam putim mezuzah? The same will be also a closed chotzer. Yeah? You have a closed chotzer. You cannot go into the chotzer only through your house. Yeah? So, wie zan de chilik, dort nicht, es ist mechiv, weil es ist meshamish dabei ist, aber mechiv zan, on which way you put the house. Which way you put the mezuzah. If the chotzer is mechiv mitzad atzmoi, yeah, we have a cloud, we have to put on the right side the mezuzah. Always the right side. Ich safte mal mezuzah by sechu, visharechu, so the Gemara darshan by sechu biyoschu. Has to be the way you go. Since a person, we can have a whole shir on this also, but the Nekiddus Advurim steht, biyoschu means the way how a person walks. The way a person walks is when he starts walking, first he puts out the right feet. So from there, Chazal learn that you have to put a mezuzah on the right side. Now, if you put a mezuzah on the left side of your door, it's possible. It's as if you didn't have a mezuzah. It has to be on the right side. Now, if a chotzer is mechiv mitzad atzmoi, yeah, you have enclosed chotzer in the backyard, and it's if it's Bechim Mitzad Atzmoi, yeah, not because it leads you to a house, yeah. So then, in such a case, when you put a mezuzah, you have going to the house, you have a backyard. So when you're putting in the mezuzah, where you have to put the mezuzah, going out from your house into the chotzer, because the chotzer is a mechiv b'mezuzah, and the way to go into the chotzer is through the house. So is you're going into the house and then you're going into the chotzer, so you have to put it the right way out to your chotzer. If the chotzer is mechiv mitzad atzmoi, the whole chotzer is mechiv no, because it leads you into the house. So therefore, you put a mezuzah in the backyard, which is enclosed. You don't have, what I mean enclosed means it doesn't have access to the shisram from the back. But you put it into the house, the right side into the house, because the ikkenekid derech b'yatzchu is going in the chotzer into your house. So again, das is the machlokes of the shoynim. If it is, what is the chiv mezuzah b'chotzer? If it's a atzmidige mechiv or it's a mechiv mitzad habayis. Now, if you have a chotzer which leads you to your house, it's like a punim l'choladais, you have to put a mezuzah. And as we mentioned before, by sechu, ibisherechu, as if it's minatori, you make a brocha, you brocha. But if you have a chotzer which is not adjacent to your house, yeah, which there are areas in houses which have such a thing, you have extra enclosed back of the house which is not connected to your house. In such a case, you put a mezuzah, because we have the shittas of Toisvus and Rasha, which hold as basically is mechiba mezuzah, and it's not Rasha. Toisvus in the Maril. You put, but you don't make a bracha because in some poskim it's hold it's not mechiba mezuzah, it's adatzmoy. So therefore, in such a case, you put a mezuzah, but you're not going to make a bracha. Now the halacha is, as we mentioned, the Gemara Darshans, has to be like a house. So if a person has a house and the roof is missing, it's put him in a mezuzah. Put him in a mezuzah. A person is making over his roof, and the house is basically a room without a ceiling, without a roof. Put him in a mezuzah. Which we're going to get me hopefully to the whole sig of Tasa v'lo min osi. Yeah, there's a loch that you have to make Tasa v'lo min osi, that you have to make it. So over here you have a room which is b'chiba mezuzah. Put a mezuzah. Now you take off the roof. So it is put him in a mezuzah. So now when you put a mezuzah, now when you put the roof, so what's doing? The mezuzah is on, and the mezuzah is on when it's nicht going to put him in a mezuzah. B'chiba mezuzah. And now it's b'chiba mezuzah. You have to take it off. What? What do you mean fix? If you still have a roof, then it's not a shayla. But I mean, if you take...
I mean, that would rain right through while they're until they put the pieces back up.
Okay, that means you don't have a roof. That means you don't have a roof.
Look up, you see white. You see roof right here, but on top there's no roof.
You have this, but there's a regular room. What's wrong with this room?
Because as soon as it's going to rain...
Okay, but now you have a regular room. There's a regular room. No, I'm talking, you took over a roof. So the Poskim are going to shout to Israel. Let me just give you a head start. We were going to say you don't have to take off the mezuzah, because only when you put the mezuzah, when it's given a petor, then tas v'lo minusi. Since you put it out when it's mechiyav, although there was a time that's not mechiyav, and then you put it back, it's not tas v'lo minusi. Just to give you a hint with the Poskim read, the Kivaiger has an interesting thing. If a person goes out of his house, yeah, he moves out for his house for 3 weeks. Yeah, he goes into, had a baby, he moves into his in-laws for 3 weeks. So now the house is put him in a mezuzah, because why? The Kivaiger mechadish, now it's put him in a mezuzah, because basically in his house nobody's living. House is nobody living, put him in a mezuzah. So when you come back, what happens? You have to take out all the mezuzahs, put it back. So obviously even according to the Kivaiger. Now again, most poskim do not agree with the answer of the Kivaiger. But like upon the Kivaiger is Rabbi Kivaiger. You don't push away the Kivaiger just cash. So even according to the Kivaiger, what?
You make your dining room into a sukkah, you take off the roof.
Exactly. This is the same thing what you're bringing. Taking a sukkah. So the kids hadvurim is whenever you put it when it's mechiba mezuzah, you take it off. Doesn't take off. It's nicht tas v'lo min osi. Okay, so Barakapurim does the halacha. Let me go back to the halacha. You're on the point. Now I wanted to say this. It's not like a chutza. Because a habais, which is without this is potter. Why is it like a chotzer? Zugen the achroin mamash denikide, because that's not the shtamshus. A chotzer, the shtamshus is a chotzer, outdoors without a roof. Masha einken ober abais without a roof, that's not a shtamshus. That's not the shtamshus, and therefore it's potter. Although a chotzer is b'chibah mezuzah, a kapunam, other as connected to a house for sure, even it's not connected to a machloikas, as we mentioned before. But a kaponam for sure as a mechibah mezuzah. But masha einken ober, when it comes to a house which have, is the choladais put him in a mezuzah. Why is it not like a chotzer? Because a chotzer, that's the way it's shtamshus. Babais, it's not a shtamshus without a roof. That's the way a house goes, go with a roof. When it comes but to a porch zugen achroinam, today's day, the porches are like a chotzer. It's like a mechibah mezuzah. It's like a chotzer. It's not like a bais. You'll say maybe it's a part of the house and it's another room and therefore it doesn't have a roof, so it's not put him in a mezuzah. Answer is no. That's a chotzer. It's a mechibah mezuzah. Yet darf wissen what way. Chiv atzmi, nicht chiv atzmi. Who is negayim? Again, if you have a porch which is enclosed, do you put the mezuzah outdoors or you put it indoors? On the right side going out and going in. Now again, I'm not talking now according to us, Labavitcher, which we go heketzir. That's we're going to get to that. Then we are easy in these things. We go everything heketzir. But we're going to see how the door opens. You look over how the door opens. We're going to get to this whole sikh. But Akapun, I'm not talking about Klulisdik the Welt, which doesn't go with the heketzir. Akapun in our case. Heketzir is a locha shechanora, but it's not. We took it to a step further. But Akapunam. So again, the same question. How do you put an enclosed porch? Do you put it going out to the porch, or are you putting it going into the house? That will be according to the machloikas of Toisvas, Tzimchiba, Sachiva Atzmi, and Nishachiva Atzmi. Now, the poil is also machloikas how you do it, but the poil is the minig oilam that if it's an enclosed, you're going to put it going out to the porch. If you have steps going out from the porch to the Shisarabim, or not steps, or even if it's flat, if you have access to the Shisarabim, according to the porch, then you're going to put it into the house, because then the stamsh is also like an outdoor front door. So you have a back door coming in, it's going into the house. But akaponam, dos is the kida. Ab marpeset, a porch is like a chotzer. In Mamaila, you put a mezuzah, mechiba mezuzah. Now again, depends how, where, when. K'mivun una brucha ochet. But if it is not a mapeset, it's a house which is uncovered, it does not put him in a mezuzah. Okay, now the klal is, in order a room should be mechiba mezuzah, has to be dalat al dalat, 4 amas and 4 amas. That is which has to be. Which means 4 amas is, according to centimeter, it's 192 centimeter, 192 centimeter. Let's go by us. According to inches, it's 75. It's 75.6 inches by 75 inches. That's a room which is mechiba mezuzah, 6.3 feet by 6.3 feet. That means square feet has to be 39.7. So whenever you have a shaila or room, is it mechiba mezuzah? You measure it, and you see if it has 6.3 by 6.3, it's mechiba mezuzah. Now what is, that's if it's like this, 6.3 or 6.3, which basically overall is going to have 39.7, almost 40 square feet, mechiba mezuzah. Now what is, if you have a room which is 2 feet, dalat amas by 8 amas. Yeah? Again, we said 4 amas by 4 amas, that's mechiba mezuzah, which is 39.7 feet. What is if you have a room which is 39.7 feet, but a different shape? That means it's rectangular. It's 2 feet wide, and it's 8 feet long, which has the same 2 by 8 is the same as 4 by 4. Is it mechiba mezuzah or ish mechiba mezuzah? So over here we have a machloikas rishonim. Again, nachach machloikas rishonim. Shittas Rambam is, if it has this amount square feet, that's considered has dalat al dalat. Mechiba mezuzah mit abrucha. So according to the Rambam, if you have a room which is a hallway, which is 2 feet wide, 8 feet long, is mechiba mezuzah mit abrucha, chaladayis, according to the Rambam, because efshel rabba, it is mechiba mezuzah. But according to the Rosh and a lot of other poskim, hold Ikke the shittas harosh. That's these machlokes the Rosh and Rambam. Rambam holds mechiba mezuzah. The Rosh holds not mechiba mezuzah. The Rosh holds no. It has to be a room which is 4x4 because that's a cheder which is ishtamshus. 4x4, that's a comfortable room. Rectangular room, it's not mechiba mezuzah. Lamaase, the mechaber paskins like the Rambam as a mechiba mezuzah and even mebrucha. But the tirzuav, the taz, paskins like the Rosh. So again, we have over here machloikis. So in such a case, whenever you have a room which has 39.7 square feet, it's not no difference how it is. If it's square, if it's rectangle, if it's round, I don't care. If it has this amount of square feet, then you are going to put a mezuzah. You keep put a mezuzah, but you're not going to make a bracha again because you have shittas Rosh, which holds that it's not mechiba mezuzah. So even though we're going to pass like drama meshichanor, which passes it is basically mechiba mezuzah, but we're not going to make a bracha because we have the Rosh and the terezuah which is mechiba mezuzah.
Norman says punkt dalet in a different way.
Has to be dalet dalet.
If it's bigger, then there's no machlokes.
If it has dalet on 8 is with the chshale avada. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Now, what is if you have a room which has these dimensions? You have a room which has these dimensions, but you have things which take away the halal habayis. You have a washer and dryer over there, or you have a closet niche. We're going to see a minute. I'm not talking. You mean a closet which you can move? No, I'm not talking about it.
Boiler.
Oh, we get to walk in closet in a minute. You have a boiler. You have a boiler in the room. You have a washer and dryer, or even you have cabinets. You have a laundry room, which is a nice laundry room, but you have cabinets. You have a laundry bins, which is built into the wall. It's a stove that you don't move. Oh. Is this mamayit from the room or not? So over here we have 3 shittas. We have 3 shittas like Abadayim. The art poskim hold that it depends. If it is kedem which you could move, then is it nicht mamayit. A washer and dryer you can take out when it breaks. You put a new one. It's not mamayit from the room. So you have a room dalat and it has a washer and dryer. It's still mechiba mezuzah because it has the shear. And that's the shit of Mikdash Ma'at, one of the big poskim on Hechs Mezuzah. He holds it's nicht mamayit. Then there is other poskim which hold that, but if it is a staple item, then it is mamayit. So if you have, for instance, a boiler which is built in, or you have a cabinet, let's say, which is mechiber to the wall, is according to Yasklavdim and other poskim, it is mechir b'mezuzah. But then, I'm not asking. This is other second shitta. Third shitta is it's mamayit only a thing which is from bottom till the top. That means cabinets, kitchen cabinets. Kitchen cabinets is mamayit. But if you don't have kitchen cabinet, which is staple, and it's not me urest ad atikra, is the shmamayit. So again, we have a room which is you have stuff. So according to one shitta is if it is more removable, it's not mamayit. If it's not more removable, it's mamayit. One shitta holds that basically even if it's kevu is mamayit, but it has to be made bottom at the soft. And then there's a third shitta which holds basically I don't care. When the room was built, before you put in a cabinet, before you put in a counter, before you went in the boiler, was it dalat adalat? Although you build afterwards things, the room itself atzma is dalat adalat, is b'mechiba mezuzah. Again, what are you going to do? The answer is you're going to put a mezuzah and you're going to not make a bracha because we have a mechokes apostle. So therefore you have a boiler room, which is basically a boiler room which you could have is dalat al dalat, but you have a boiler. Yeah. So since we have poskim which say because the room basically, although before you put it in the boiler or before you put it in washer and dry or before a laundry room, all these things, although now you don't have dalat al dalat, since the room base in the room is dalat al dalat, it is mechiba mezuzah. You're not going to put a bracha. Now I'm not going in our laundry room because laundry room goes in a different nikida also for people who have small children. Okay, today's day it's not relevant. When I grew up, a lot of rabbanim hold that you don't put it on a laundry room because I'm going to tell you a little bit younger. You should know that once upon a time there's such thing as diapers. Yeah, I don't know if you know such a thing. There's such thing as diapers, and reusable diapers. Cloth diaper. I don't think so. Yeah, and there was a diaper service. You had the child at ungemacht. Or you cleaned it, or you had a customer, if a company which came, if you have a big family, the mother couldn't clean it. So the laundry rooms were busy with pashat soya, pashat things which is, so there was something passed that's nicht bechiba mezuzah. Today's day, it's not so in the guy, since, again, if people have small children, could be a guy, because, people leak. But today's day hand passed when the laundry room is bechiba mezuzah because we don't not necessarily have these things. But I think when he was a child, I began to do this. Ja bechiba mezuzah, nicht bechiba mezuzah, post man gehalten, als bei Eizem ist es bechiba mezuzah, weil es ist bei Eizem herum, es ist over. Es ist nicht mehr, es macht sich am, okay. Aber so laundry rooms today's day, if it has a nice big laundry room, you should put a mezuzah and you should make a brucha. Okay, so now we said that you have to make a chayder has to be dalat al dalat in order that you should be able to mechibim mezuzah. Yeah, we gave the dimensions. But what is if you have a room which is less, but it's going into this to the house? For instance, this room. This room I measured a few weeks ago, and sayrois mechloikus if it has dalat al dalat or nicht. The lower part doesn't have dalat al dalat. If you count the window, it does have dalat al dalat. That's why I think that we should eventually we'll have to change the mezuzah. Once we'll check it out, we'll put it on the side, because it doesn't make sense to go into that outside because I measured it all ways. It's less than $1. What is if?
So you're saying the mezuzah on the left side going in?
The suring has to be on the right side going in. Why? So I'm going to explain in a minute. The first door has to come in. That's for sure. There's no question. It has to come in. You're coming into the shul. There's no question. First door we don't. The first door is bechiba mezuzah chol adayis because that's coming into the shul. I'm just saying this second door is a problem. The mezuzah. This one, yeah. But now I'm going back to what I begin. I digress, Taki. He's right. What is this? The outside door is bechiba mezuzah or not? You're going into a room which is less than $1. Yeah, and we just said a room which is less than $1 is bechiba mezuzah. Steht aber the Shulchan Aruch, and you remember the beginning of the Shir I said the Gemara Darshans by Shar is bechiba mezuzah. That means even if there's a room which is a small room, it's not $1, which mitzad atzma is a bechiba mezuzah, but since that takes you into a bigger room, it's a bais shar to a house which is bechiba mezuzah. Therefore, even if it's less than $1, it's bechiba mezuzah. So therefore, the front door in Bechal, all the houses which you're going into a front door, and you have a small foyer, and then you're going into a bigger room. Now, if without this halacha, will be the front door will be put in a mezuzah, because basically it goes into a small room and not to the big room. But since it is a baishat going into a bigger room, it's bechiba mezuzah, and that's a big yisod.
The right side going in.
Going into the house, yeah, exactly, yeah. So again, bais shar does not need to have dalat because that is bechiba mezuzah, because it's meshamash leknisa. It's not a atzmis diga mechiyev. It's not a chiyav mitzad atzma. It's mechiyev because it's also machloikes, by the way. Machloikes is a atzmis diga, but kapur pashas because it's made for the house to go in, and therefore it's bechiba mezuzah.
So it's there now.
What? Oh, is over here, hat man es gemacht. When this room would have been dalat al dalat, then this mezuzah is perfect. Because the heketzir, as Lubavitch, the whole world, when they come, they don't understand. So I have to explain them, the minute our shitta, which we're going to delve into it, very beautiful, this whole shitta of heketzir, because a lot of people say, what is the makar of it? But there's a nice makar which Rav Heller wrote a beautiful, beautiful article on it years ago. But according to us, we're going to have heketzir on the second door. The first door, you never go to heketzir, it goes always coming in. But the second door, you have heketzir. So it has to be, so this, in order to go like this, on the right side, like we have it, has to be, goes into a room which is Alach Adalus, and Mechibah Mezuzah. You cannot make heketzir to a room which is not Mechibah Mezuzah. So it doesn't make sense. So therefore, it's a problem, they Mezuzah. But Akapunam the Kids Advurim is, as a Baishar is Mechibah Mezuzah, even though it's not Dalat Adalat. And that's why all the foyers in your house is Mechibah Mezuzah. When you have a foyer, if they have a Tziras HaPesach, the Mechibah Mezuzah. Because it leads you, what?
If it's Dalat Adal, your foyer.
It's Chaladah is Mechibah Mezuzah.
What about the next door, the second door going to here? If this is Dalat Adal,
Yeah.
so it's on the right side of the first mezuzah. This mezuzah, what do you do?
According to us, like this.
If it's Dalat Adal.
Then like it's now. Now like it's now. Because except of the first door, all other deals is going to be heketzir. The way how it opens. If the deal comes in, then it has to be the right side going in. That's right. But since it goes out, we put it on that. So this would have been very nice if this would have had another few inches on each side.
If the door opens on the inside,
then for sure, always you go on the right side. Yeah. But again, this heketzir, it's not. In Zwarum kommen sie die ganze Zeit da. Aber
because I have a closet, whatever walk-in closet, door opens on the outside.
Coming into the room, coming into the bigger room.
It opens into the bigger room.
Yeah.
But when you go into the closet, there's no other doors.
Okay, we're gonna get this is the next. We're gonna get to it. The what?
Front door, it's not heketzir?
No, we don't go heketzir. Front door, we don't go heketzir.
Out.
Even if it goes out, you have to go right side going in. Yeah, of course. It's Chaladah. Because the first coming into the house is always on the right side. That's Biyoscha. That's the Chaladah. The name is Yishkan Shal. So, if you have a few doors, again, I don't want to delve in now because it's a whole sigya. And a nice sigya. But Akaponam, so again, has to be Dalat Adalat. Baishar does not have to be Dalat Adalat. Okay, now, what is if you have a master bedroom and you have over there, like man has just said, you have over there a walk-in closet. Yeah? And it doesn't have Dalat Adalat. If it has Dalat Adalat, if the walk-in closet is Dalat Adalat, and there's no windows, we are going to put it going into the room. There's no question, even according to Chabad. Because even according to us, that we go according to Haketzir, it's only if you have a window or a door, something which you could basically fly into that room other than this door. If you cannot fly into that room,
Which room?
that room which you have, which is a closet, walk-in closet, which has no windows, a room which doesn't have, let's make it clear, a room with Mechibah Mezuzah doesn't have any windows, you always put the Mezuzah going into that room, even if the door opens outside. We don't go Haketzir. Because there's no way how to get into that room. So in such a case, what you said, if it has Dalat Adalat, no question about it, there's no windows, you have to go into the room. But what it is, if it's not Dalat Adalat, you have a walk-in closet, which is as big as this foyer, it's not Dalat Adalat. Do you put a mezuzah? You don't put a mezuzah. It's less than Dalat Adalat. You put a mezuzah, no, you put a mezuzah. So there's a Reb Kiva Eiger, which is mechadash, a gewaldig interessanter chiddush. Kiva Eiger says that whenever you have a room which goes into a bigger room, if it doesn't have Dalat Adalat, you still Mechibah Mezuzah the way going into the big room. Because it is as if it comes out as a Baishar going into that room. It is as if this has no ceiling, has no roof, no walls. it is only a door going into the big room, to the master bedroom. So therefore, it is mechiba mezuzah. And which way do you mechiba mezuzah? Coming into the big room. That's the chesus of mechiba eigen. Famous mechiba eigen. Everybody knows this mechiba eigen. What? Even without windows. But then, even less than $1, no windows. It says as if there's no walls, and it is going into the big room. Now, not most of the poskim do not agree with the mechiba eigen. I just want to make it clear. Most of the poskim do not agree with mechiba eigen. But even according to the mechiba eigen, we have a machloikas in the mechiba eigen. What does the mechiba eigen mean? Because the mechiba eigen says puts words that since the small room is puter, it's nechshev k'avir ba'alma. It's as if there's no walls and there's no roof, and therefore it's like avir, and it's going into the house. So you have to putting it in. Is the mechazitzchik medayik that even the mechiba eigen only said it if you have a room which is addition to your room. You have a room, and you made an addition, a walk-in closet, so the room is open for the gas, for the street. Therefore, the Eiger says, as if there's no walls, there's no roof, and therefore it's like a thing which goes into the room. So but if you have in your house, it's matter of your house, you have a master bedroom, and it's also a walk-in closet. The Eiger did not never meant to say such a thing. That as if it is Avi Balma. Why? It's in a house. So Kim the Mechzitzring in it holds, even the Eiger never said such a thing. Even the Eiger never said such a thing. But again, most boys do not agree with the Mechzitzring either. So what do? Bepashtis halucha, if you have a walk-in closet which is not $1, again, I'm talking a walk-in closet, not a closet which you open up. I'm talking a walk-in closet, it's not $1. Most of the world will pasken that you're not putting, you don't have to put a mezuzah. But again, a lot of Yirai Shemayim, and they want to be, in the Rebbe Kiva Eiger again, the Rebbe Eiger is the Rebbe Kiva Eiger. Therefore, is Yichabas Azoy, and a lot of other rooms also, other Tamid Chumam, that they put a mezuzah according to the Rebbe Eiger. Now, it's interesting. Basically, it's a Sveksveik. Because according to the Messiah Yitzchak, even the Rebbe Eiger didn't say it. Aber after began azoy bich makabel gewein to like, but again, mechanisch bechayev are nobody to make such to do, because there's two reasons not to put. First of all, the ganze big eiger is a chiddush. Second of all, even the kiva eiger, it depends if it is an outdoor walking closet, which I don't think there is such a thing today's day. You have it's a guys when sometimes when you have you build, you extend the shul wants to have another room, a storage room, they will build out a small room or more closet. Okay, such a thing, it's not too practical, according to Mr. Chitzchak. But according to a lot of other poskim hold that it is mechiba mezuzah. It's not mechiba mezuzah. So therefore, a walk-in closet which does not have $1, you could be lenient, not put a mezuzah. If it has $1, chaladai is mechiba mezuzah. $1. The what? Oh, so now goes into halacha. What is if it has shelves? You're going into the machlokas which I mentioned previous. When you have a room which is $1, and if it's built-in shelves all the way, then the chaladais, nisha chaladais again, not the chaladais. We mentioned there's one die which says you look at the room as it is as a whole. But akapunam, in such a case, yesh mukim lahach metzelaygin amazizu kumiv barabrucha, because after all the room is $1, and according to some poskim, shelves do not. But again, because we have two shittas which are, especially this is mechiba, it's more staple. Yesh mukim l'hukla, but akapurim. Sikidai it's a machmazan of such a case. You have to put them as yeah.
Put it on the right side from going into the closet.
Yes, because there's only way to go into the room is only going in from their door. So derech bioschem. Yeah.
And he's asking. According to the shit is that the shelves take away from the $1, then you can only
it's put them in, then is Rebbe Kiva Eiger, then you have to put it there. That's right. Exactly. No, okay. Yeah. How much on a machloekes of his baltoisef? Last year we spoke. There's a lot of baltoisef. So, but Pashas baltoisef. When is baltoisef? If you have a one post, you have two mezuzahs, baltoisef. What is if you have a suffix how to put, and you put one on the right side, one on the left side? So last previous year had all the riches, that's a machlokes achroinim, if this is Baltois, some hold no, that's not Baltois. Because according to them, this is Nishka Mezuzah. According to this, Nishka Mezuzah. Yeah.
So if with the shelves, it's less than Daled al Daled. If without the shelves, it's more than Daled al Daled. Which side do you put the mezuzah?
This is what he just mentioned. So in such a case, again, if you go to Korban Kiva Eiger, again, and the guys of Kiva Eiger called the Mechz Yitzchak, had the Kiva Eiger never said it. So I would say put it in the way going in.
What if the mom is part of the wall? The wall is built with the shelf, part of the...
Yeah, because although we brought one poisig, we want to say you look at the room before.
No, some are built, as they're built the shelf.
Okay, then it's put them in a put the nishchibim.